And the human spirit, human endeavor, human body, all of it put together. I wish I could say that it was somehow, me independently. Actually, no, I don't. That's egotistical. I can't say that it's me. This is something way bigger, because my physical body was just damn near dead 8 years ago. Well, it was dead. It was on a machine, and I was in the hospital. I had just gotten out of the hospital after being in for 4.5 months 8 years ago at this time. And it's the middle of September, end of September of 2021. And 8 years ago, man, I'd been on a machine and in the hospital 4.5 months and 7 surgeries in that time. The first 5 were at the first 10 days. So, it was pretty scary for a bunch of people. Not so much for me. I was unconscious. However, I rode out a lot of time logged in a hospital bed, waiting for that experience to be over. And I had no idea, absolutely no idea what was coming towards me when I reached 8 years after that. I had no clue that I would be not 200 plus pounds. I was still 260, 280 pounds, at least 250. I mean, who knows? Once you're over 250, it's kind of hard to even want to know what the number is. I was so miserable and on all kinds of medications and just depressed and hated myself. I hated everybody else, hated my life, and couldn't figure out why. And, going through divorce is brutal. And the way that happened was quite brutal. And, chunking away of all of that, however, it chunked away about 200 pounds of me and bullshit energy that isn't me. And now I can embrace all of those things about, what I did as a child that was soothing to me, fun to me, and really, really enjoy myself. And I've gotten to where I just like to walk. I go over the bridge at least once a day, usually. And I ride my board 2-3 times a day. I ride my bike. Usually at least 3 or 4 times a week. I'm not as quick to go get on the bike as the other stuff, because I have to wrangle it out the front door. That's the only reason. If I was going to be lazy, it's because I'm too lazy to get my bike out, and I'll go on my board instead. And I just have more fun on my board traditionally. And I'm really super excited because I'm learning new skills with my body that I didn't really know that I was ever going to be reintroduced to. And at 53, I'm going to be okay with, I've got to go in the kitchen and take some Tylenol because, old lady alert. I did fall down a few days ago and I still have some pain in my shoulder, etc. However, if it's helped with Tylenol and nothing else, then I'm good to go. I'm not in the hospital. I'm not crazy. I'm not married. I'm not overweight. I'm not on 800 meds, and I don't hate myself. I don't hate my life. And generally speaking, I don't hate other people. I do have some grumblies, that come up from time to time with certain entities that swing back through, just keep on going. But when I feel that way now, most of the time it's a fleeting notional event that doesn't trip me up. It doesn't, hardcore my day any. It doesn't harsh my world, because I go and find something else to do that I would rather be doing, like riding my board or walking or just going out and, sitting in nature, just being in nature, being saturated in Mother Gaia's energy. There's so much here for me, and it's so much here for everybody. However, I'm not the responsible for doling out Mother Nature to other people. She's right there. If you want to plug in, just, go plug in. And I'm happy to tell other people that that's how I get mine done. However, I can't tell anybody else how they're supposed to fortify themselves. I just know that when I was looking to other people to do that, that was a nightmare. That's called codependency, and that's a horrible way to go. And when I was looking to, a substance of some kind, let me just take my benzodiazepine, let me just, take anything, food, whatever it was. And now, I have to be careful sometimes that I'm not going to overdo on the exercising and the rolling around stuff, because my physical body just, I need to have rest from that. But, I dance, I move, I sing, and I take the time to really embrace who and what I am. And I'm glad to do that, because for so many years I didn't. I felt so wrong. I felt so wrong everywhere I went. I felt wrong. And I was being told I was wrong in a lot of different directions. And, that's just a lie. There isn't anything wrong with me. There isn't anything wrong with anybody necessarily. It's just a matter of your behavior sucks, your behavior sucks. And when mine sucks, it sucks. However, there's nothing wrong with me. I need to tweak my behavior, absolutely. However, tweak me and who I am, that's why I'm divorced and why I don't have anything in my life that I used to have, because that just didn't work. That paradigm of I'm broken somehow and I got to somehow keep trying to fix myself. Shit, how much more could I fix? Nothing. I was too broke and I was left at the curb. Cool. There's nothing left for me to fix then. There's only left for me to pick up and walk. And I discovered in that, resurrection process that Phoenix Rising, that wasn't a deconstructed nightmare that, oh my God, how's that going to ever come back together? It's going to be this big pile of goo. And it wasn't. That was a Phoenix Rising. I rose up and I'm better than I ever have been before. Older, wiser. And, I have a whole lot less to lose now, because I don't have anything tying me down. I don't have anything weighing me down. I don't have anything that's going to get in my way. Quite frankly, I'm 53 and I'm not waiting another day to embrace my life in a whole new way. I find new ways to embrace my life and speak to people and get to know them. And if your heart sings to me, then I want to chat with you. If your heart doesn't sing to me, then I'm probably not going to want to chat with you, because your heart isn't open to that. Then, okay, we probably don't have anything. You're not going to want to talk to me, more than likely. And anybody that does want to open up the dialogue and be, open and receptive to getting to know another person. I don't have to marry you. I don't have to see you again. I don't have to know you. I don't have to know anything about you to, embrace who and what you are and say, yeah, cool. It's really great to know another human being that's, in the light and not in the dark night, because there's so many of us that we're stumbling around in the dark, and we're mean, we're cranky, we're nasty, and we're hateful, and we're doing hateful stuff. And I'm not about it, man. I spend enough time in the closet looking around going, what's wrong with me? Nothing. Turn that light on. Cool, thanks. So I went to school and I figured out how to make it cool and turn my light on. And now, those dark nights of the soul, they don't last very long, and they're not dark nights of the soul. They're dark moments that pass. And I get sad, I cry, and I really don't like some things that have happened, and I'm sad about things that I had to say goodbye to. However, that's grief. That's grief. That's what that is. And nothing is going to stop me from embracing all the joy, because there's grief. And I'm going to have to live that duplicity for the rest of my days then, because I intend to live on the leading edge of thought with, it's not a crowded spot, because, not many people are willing to go there. Well, I am. And it doesn't mean that I don't visit the sadness department. It means that I don't go all the way to the other end of the spectrum and do the dark night of soul shit anymore. That's boring. That's, oh God, I already did that and it hurt. It was painful, and I was never getting to the joy part. I was just stumbling around in the dark, deep, dark, terrible closet of, where there was not a light. There wasn't even understanding of how to get the light. It was just the wrong understanding that, there isn't any light in that. That needed to have a whole new, fresh understanding of, there's nothing broken in me. There's nothing broken in another person, not anywhere on this planet. There's not one person that's broken. There are people who are separated, far away, and disconnected from their own divinity, their own light, and their own understanding of themselves. That is absolutely true. However, it's not one of us that's broken. Not a one of us, lizard or not. I don't care what anybody has to say about that. I'm still not going to embrace that, what I consider that to be just ungodly understanding that if you believe in a divine presence, how's some lizard going to be bigger than that? I just can't believe that. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I'm not going to, and it's not the most loving frequency. Doesn't mean that I'm going to stay, completely love and light all the time, because I have my hater moments where I just want to smack somebody really hard and shut up. And I'm okay with that. That most of the time I stay in my divine, and I stay pretty rooted in the idea that every single person wants to be accepted, they want to be loved, and they want to be held in high regard. Now, somebody acting like a tool, you're not going to get a whole lot of anything from me but school of see ya. I'm not going to, try to interact with that if it's disrespectful, rude, and discounting, etc., and it's going to, usurp my energy or try to, plot my downfall in some way. We're not going to create a relationship out of that. We're not going to, create some monster road that we're both going to try to travel and where I'm going to drag you to your divinity. That's not going to happen, because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to save people who don't want to be saved. I'm here to save me. And I'm here to understand my divinity and explain it to other people if they want to hear it. And if they don't, that's all right. All I know is I can't fear it. I don't have anything that I want to fear. And I used to be afraid of everything. And I have fear now that is appropriate. It's calibrated for the situation of, my instinct's going to tell me, I have something that's making a noise around me, rather than being terrified of absolutely everything. It cannot be just a blanket, one or the other. I'm going to always be afraid, or I'm never going to be afraid. Balance. And in this bipolar north, south, east, west, this very black, white, up, down experience of Earth polarized as we aren't going to be able to outrun that. We are not going to be able to outrun that. And the only thing that I know to do that makes any freaking sense to do is find balance in that. And, the people that are hard charging in the, adrenaline department of 1313, thank you. That's not going to work for me. And anything back there in the completely sedentary and not ever moving and just blobbing through life, that doesn't work for me either. I like the balance. The balance for me leans more towards being active and out there doing things that are physically engaging, etc. However, I have my moments when I'm absolutely going to be turfed out on my couch, like in the next few minutes when I'm done here, that I'm going to be out on my couch, relaxing, chilling, and not moving much of anything, because that's the balance and the duplicity and the medium of I went out, I was highly active, and now I'm going to, soften my evening with relaxing and having a nice glass of water to refresh and hydrate myself, relax, and then go take a shower and chill out and watch my favorite shows, because that's what the balance is. It doesn't mean that, I have to choose one lifestyle or the other. And before, man, I was over there on the couch constantly feeling guilty that I wasn't out doing anything more active. I should be, and I should not say should, and I really don't anymore. I really don't, and I'm free to know that it's okay for me not to say should. I should never say should. That's what should, if I was going to say it, that's how I'm going to say that, is I shouldn't say should ever, because I don't want anybody telling me what I should be doing, and I am not here to tell other people what they should be doing. If I feel the need to do that, I should just shut my mouth and go on back to my house and leave that alone, and not be trying to make a relationship or create some dynamic there, because that's going to turn into mommy dearest in a minute, either giving or receiving. And I spent 50 years giving, receiving, and not liking that a whole lot, in a marriage that was not healthy, it was not functional, didn't work. In a family dynamic growing up, did not work. When there's that power differential, people going to get their feelings real hurt. So anywhere where there's going to be a power differential, where I feel the need to parentify somebody or boss them around or whatever, or I feel that of them coming at me, we need to separate immediately, because that's not going to be functional. And if that's not going to be something that can be rehabbed instantly with my boundary is being violated, let me go ahead and explain to you very briefly that let's recalibrate this. If that's not honored and respected, then I need to go along and move along with my business and move it on, get out, because somebody else telling me their boundary, if I'm not going to honor and respect that, I need to move along, and they need to move along faster than me. If I'm not getting it, they need to move along faster than me until I do get it, or if it goes into infinity of never getting it, then whatever, however that person needs to move along to be in their healthiest space. If I'm not honoring their boundary and they're telling me as clearly as can be, intimating it, that's hard for a person like me. Autism does not allow me to understand, mixed messages at all. If the mouth doesn't say it with the feet, the feet underneath the mouth, if there's incongruence, then holy cow, that's going to screw up, my communication understanding at a minimum. It's going to screw up my understanding of your communication, most definitely, and it's going to make communication between us very complicated, and that will start to raise my hackles now that I understand that, when I feel that, that's not anxiety of something, I got anxiety issues, that's a Mother Nature skill of, there's something wrong here, there's incongruence, there's cognitive dissonance here, and there's a reason, and get to the reason quickly. If you can't, then move on. So, and likewise, that another person would be challenged to go right away from me if I'm not honoring their boundary. Same with me, but when I feel like I'm not being honored, my boundaries not being respected for whatever reason, doesn't matter. Doesn't mean I have to slap somebody. It means that I need to get along with my life, move along, and not try to reestablish and explain to them why my boundary is. It doesn't matter, man. I can waste a lot of time saying why I deserve to have my, I just show I don't deserve it because I say blah, blah, blah. I just have it. It's what it is. I deserve it because I say so, and I move on with that, and don't worry too much about who's left behind in the dirt, because if they're left behind in the dirt, it's because they were standing stupid. They were stuck stupid going, moo, and arguing with me. Same as I would expect somebody else to leave me right there if that's what I was doing. So thank you very much to Divinity. Thank you to the angel teams, to the archangels that are surrounding me. I am absolutely blessed and so grateful, so very grateful to be where I am today, standing in the position that I stand, quite alive, quite vital, and quite happy most of the time. And yes, grief-stricken deeply, terribly so, about a few things. And, you know, until that reaches resolution, it will be that way. However, doesn't rule my whole day, and it certainly doesn't drag me into the toilet, nor does it ruin my life, because I'm much more than that, and I deserve to have the full of my life given to me and honored and respected, and it's not going to do that unless I start with me first. And divinity drops into me every morning, every day, every night, every time that I ask, you know, hey, can you please remind me, what am I about, what am I here for, and shout that other stuff out, and magically, like a unicorn, it happens. Because that's what I expect to happen, and that's what I believe. That's what I have the faith of a mustard seed to believe, because I have no reason not to believe that. If there's going to be somebody that was going to need to be real faithful and be talking about their faith, it needs to be me, because I should be dead about a million times over, and I'm not. So I'm here for divinity. I yield and I surrender, divinity. Doesn't mean I always like it. However, it's getting much easier, and those sad moments, they're only moments. They're not a way of life anymore. Thank you very much. Goodbye to strife. So I'm off now, 8:03. I'm going to go and watch, I don't know, either Weeds or New Girl or maybe Star Wars. I haven't decided if I want to watch the Disney Channel, YouTube. No YouTube. I'm going to stay off YouTube tonight. Disney Channel, Netflix, or Hulu. What shall it be? I don't know. Let's go find out what I want to play. What do I want to be tonight? Do I want to be into Star Trek or Star Wars, or do I want to be into New Girl, or do I want to be into Weeds? I don't know. I'm going to go find out. Maybe I'll go take a shower first and then find out. So thank you, Divinity. Thank you so much for bringing me here and for taking away most of the fear. It's glorious, and I am so grateful to be alive and to be standing in my divine and know my sublime so much better, and to be grateful for every single piece of me that comes into line and understands my mission and where I'm headed. Thank you, Divinity. Thank you, God Frequency. Thank you, angels. And thank you to all the spirit teams, the spirit guides, and the ancestors who surround me. And I feel that drop in. Thank you. The chills of understanding that, yes, I'm loved. I'm absolutely loved and adored. And I know that other people are too. And I can't open their doors for them. I can't do anything except tell them how they might be able to get there if they choose to hear. And if they don't want to listen, then I can't chase them down, because that didn't work. That absolutely did not work. And I've not seen that work for anybody else. So I'm going to give that business up entirely and enjoy knowing that I rode my board and my bike's there. I rode that today also, and I walked. I did all 3 modes of transportation today, and I'm good. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm good.